All right, Eddie, come on up and introduce our speaker slash your bride. Let me switch over real quick here. See if this works. Finally, 9 months into my presidency, figuring out how to work this thing a little bit. Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate you. So for those that know my wife, I'm happy to report that I ate healthy today, and so she was here to witness that, and that's probably why I ate healthy. She did. She's always a fitness as well, and she asked me one time what my favorite squats were, and I told her I prefer diddly squats. So I do have the pleasure of introducing my wife. Her name is Jennifer. Jennifer has a passion for wellness that was ignited at a very young age. She has a very active lifestyle, as you can imagine. She very much loves Jesus, eating vegetables, and taking long walks on the beach looking for seashells. She's married to her husband of 21 years. It's a pretty good guy, I think. She's got 2 kids, aged 20 and 17. Her daughter happens to be here today. She's a prospective Rotary member. She told me earlier she was thinking about joining. So you guys have made a great impression. Jennifer started her career in 2008 at Thomas Medical Center as a registered nurse, providing care to women and children specializing in labor, delivery, antepartum, postpartum, newborns, and adolescent care. She obtained her associate's in nursing degree at Davidson-Dade Community College. Thank you, Jonathan Brown, who's not here. While still working in this position, she finished her undergrad with Seven State University in 2009. Jennifer's next path led to a local pediatrics office, followed by a local health department in Davidson County. As a school nurse specializing in child public health, while in this position, she continued her education at Vernon Webb, where she obtained her doctorate of nursing practice, family nurse practitioner in 2022. Jennifer's nurse practitioner career began as an integrative health practitioner in High Point, North Carolina. Her experiences included a variety of health conditions, including thyroid disease, hormone imbalance, Lyme disease, autoimmune disease, food sensitivities, mold toxicity, and many others. Jennifer's committed to helping others achieve optimal health and wellness, and she's very passionate about looking for root causes of diseases, education on lifestyles, healthy lifestyles, and providing personalized care and functional medicine perspective. So please welcome Jennifer Ball on the stage.
Thank you so much for having me speak today. There's a few members here that assisted me along in my journey to get my nurse practitioner, and it's Dr. Williams and Dr. Brady Berry and Dr. Tony Benzini. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm very grateful for you. I currently work at Triad Lifestyle Medicine, and today I'm accompanied by Tiffany Lee, and she's not only a friend, a nurse practitioner, but she is the owner of Triad Lifestyle Medicine. And me and Tiffany grew up together. We went to Fairgrove together, we went to Brown together, we played ball together at East together, and so she reached out to me recently in December, and God places people on your path, and so here we are. And thank you, Tiffany. Anyone here, low carb diet, tried a low carb diet, any of those things? Yeah. My husband tells people he's on a low carb diet, but the reality is he eats pasta while laying on the floor. You're probably wondering what brought me to functional medicine. Functional medicine is slightly different from traditional medicine. We still prescribe medications, we still do assessments and draw labs. What functional medicine is, it focuses on identifying the root causes of disease. It's more patient-centered. We answer questions like, why are you ill? We spend an extended amount of time listening to you and gathering medical history and information. Patients just really want to be listened to, and they want to be heard. An appointment with us typically will last about an hour. We dig deep into your medical history to find and identify the root causes to your illness. There may be reasons that have led you to your illness. Perhaps it's poor nutrition, genetics, stress, allergens, sleep or lack thereof, toxins, or your gut microbiome. We not only look into your physical needs, but we also look at the mental and emotional needs. We treat all kinds of chronic conditions such as adrenal disorders, cancer prevention, diabetes, autoimmune disease, cardiovascular disease, digestive disorders, food allergies, metabolic syndrome, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, migraines, and many more. Prior to an appointment, one can expect to fill out an extended amount of medical history on the questionnaire. The questionnaire will include lifestyle, genetics, and environmental factors. Functional providers are investigators. We want to know everything about you. We want to know, what does your diet look like? Do you eat organic? Are your foods whole foods? Are they processed? Do you exercise, or do you live a sedentary lifestyle? What is your work life like? Are you stressed? What are your hobbies? Do you sleep well at night? Is your energy levels good? Do you have a bowel movement every day? What is your family history? Do you have medical conditions that run in your family? What are your toxin exposures? Do you have city, well, county water? Do you filter your water? This extensive questionnaire opens the door to our investigation to the root causes of your illness. All these things directly impact your health and wellness. If you know me, you've heard me say, food is medicine. We live in an environment that is overloaded with toxins. The air we breathe, the water that we take in, chemicals we bathe in, the foods we eat, the medicines we take, all can cause chronic health conditions, and they contain toxins. Processed food lacks essential nutrients that lead to deficiencies, ultimately resulting in chronic disease. Processed foods are very, very inflammatory. And remember, inflammation is the driving force of chronic disease. Some examples are heart disease and diabetes, type 2. Sugar is a highly processed food and causes significant widespread inflammation throughout the body. I'm sure you're wondering, where do I begin? One of the most important changes to choose are foods that you eat. They need to be whole foods, means not altered from their original state. Such of those foods include vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans. These foods are very high in antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation in the body, and they combat cancers. Make sure your meats are organic if possible, your fish is wild caught, your grass is free range beef, and your chickens also are free range. Animals raised in their natural environment are more nutrient dense, and they are less inflammatory on your body. What you eat matters. You can either nourish your body or harbor an environment that's hospitable to disease. Lastly, move your body. You should be getting around 10,000 steps a day. Our bodies were perfectly designed by God to be active, have increased heart rate, and improve our circulation of our blood. I do want to finish my presentation with just an example of how functional medicine helped my husband, Eddie. In 2016, Eddie was having chronic stomach pain and acid reflux. After many provider visits, colonoscopies, endoscopies, he was placed on a medicine called omeprazole. Omeprazole is a proton pump inhibitor, also referred to as PPIs. To keep things simple, what this medicine does is it decreases the acid in your stomach. According to the National Institute for Health, long-term usage of this PPI is 8 weeks or more. Long-term use of the PPIs have adverse health effects, such as osteoporosis, lung infections, gastric malignancy, hepatic impairment, C. diff, and dementia. After a few months of Eddie's treatment with omeprazole, he began to have severe cramps, stomach pain, and nausea. This led me down an intense research of this medication, and I drove Eddie crazy doing this. He did not want to come off this medication. He didn't know. The doctor tells you to take this medication, and you take it. And so, Eddie was experiencing nutritional deficiencies directly related to the omeprazole. Eddie sought a functional provider for his acid reflux. Acid reflux is caused by floppy lower esophageal sphincter. And basically it lies right here, and it keeps your acid contents from coming back up your esophagus. Acid in our stomach creates a pressure, and this pressure keeps that valve closed. So acid, this fix to his acid reflux was not an acid reducer, it was an acid replenisher. Eddie, after 2 months of acid restoration, he was able to discontinue his omeprazole, and to this day, he still does not battle acid reflux. Omeprazole is a $14 billion a year pharmaceutical drug that is spent. $14 billion a year is spent on this medication. And this medication, again, I told you all the things that it causes in your stomach, in your gut, and decreasing the acid. And we have to have acid in our stomach, and as we age, the acid naturally goes away. So we have to do things that will help the acid and replenish it in our gut. But one thing that's very important about acid is two things actually. Is number one, it helps us break down our food. And number two, it protects us against pathogens such as parasites. And if you eat raw vegetables and raw fruits, there's parasites on them. So everybody gets parasites in their body, but we need our stomach to protect us from that. If you are type A, this is just fun facts to know, if you're type A blood type, you are lower acid. So your stomach naturally has lower acid. If you're type O, congrats, you have higher acid in your stomach. So I don't know if you've ever looked into the Eat Like Your Blood Type. It's fascinating. You can check it out online, and it kind of tells you what things are better for that blood type and not, and it has to do a lot with the acid in your stomach. You can't live your life in one day. You can't get fit in one workout, and you can't get healthy eating one apple. It's progress over perfection. Thank you.
We didn't take any questions, Jennifer, but I got a question.
Sure.
How many apples do I have to eat? Apple a day. Thank you for that. Hey, thank you